A lot of smart locks available in the market today are designed to replace a deadbolt. Well, what's the solution if you have a door without a deadbolt, but you want a smart lock on that? Well, I've found a great option in the Eufy Smart Lever Lock. Hey, this is Doug from High Tech Life, helping you live your best high-tech life and maybe save a little bit of time and a little bit of money doing that. So if you like that kind of thing, go ahead and click like and subscribe down below. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Eufy Smart Lever Lock C33. This is a great solution for when you want to have a smart lock on a door, but that door doesn't have a deadbolt. A lot of the existing solutions in the market overall are really designed for deadbolt-based installations, but sometimes we need something a little bit different here. I've got a great use case for this for an interior garage door. I've got a quick set lock on there. It's a keypad lock. It's about 10 years old, and it's just been falling apart. It feels like it's ready to fall off at any moment. And I had just done the Eufy palm reader lock on our front door a couple of weeks ago, and I really liked the hardware on that. So I thought, okay, we'll give this one a shot. We'll see how this one does. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this. We'll walk you through the whole setup and installation. We'll look at the application, and then we'll give you some thoughts at the end. So let's take a look. All right. So let's take a look at it here. So this is the Smart Lever Lock C33. I've got this in a silver finish here overall, but it's also available in black. It advertises control from anywhere, no battery fear, for those of you who maybe fear batteries, and then built-in Wi-Fi, 6 ways to unlock, and 12 months of battery life. So let's go ahead and get this open and take a look at the hardware. Okay, so we've got batteries, the actual latching hardware, this square hole here is what this is going to go through, and that will turn that. We have the outside portion of the unit. Is really solidly built. This is, you could knock somebody out with this. You can design this to be either left or right. It's just one hardware kit for either one. And then at the top, you have the emergency key use and an emergency charging port in case the batteries that go inside of it all ran out and you needed to unlock it and you didn't have the key. You can put a little USB-C like remote battery pack on there and then go and charge that up. Keys, mounting hardware, manuals, stickers, and then the inside unit overall as well, and then a plate for that to go against the door like that. So yeah, this is pretty solid. A lot of stuff you get sometimes, it feels like cheap plastic, but this, the inside unit feels like plastic. This is absolutely solid. So this is going to be a good installation. So let's go ahead and get the existing hardware off and get this put on. All right, so we have our door. There's no lock on here. I took the previous lock off. And the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that the measure on this, you've got a couple of options for 2 3/4 and 2 1/8 inches. You're going to measure right to the middle of your hole here and make sure this is the right length on that overall. So it's a little switch in here if you need to extend this out overall. And then you want to make sure that the sort of sloped part here goes against your strike plate. I'm keeping the existing strike plate that's there. And then you just push this inside and use the screws to mount it. I'm going to use the existing screws that were already in there before. Now, don't shut the door yet because it's going to be hard to get that open until you've got the whole knob assembly through there. Learned that one the hard way. Had to go around outside and open the door when half the assembly was on. Okay. Okay, so for installing the outer device, I need to figure out if the handle's going to turn left or right. Obviously, left is going to be a little bit of a problem here. So I'm going to want this to turn right on the outside door. Okay, another tip while you're working on this, because it is such force of habit, maybe tape this because I just did what I said you don't want to do. I shut the door without a knob on it, and the latch here obviously was going to hold the door shut. So now I can work on that and not make stupid mistakes. Okay, so we decided on the outside that this needs to turn to the right for that to open. So what we're going to do is there's some right and left holes on the back. There's going to be a very long screw which doesn't have a lot of threads except up towards the top. And you're going to put that one in, and that will effectively lock this to only go one direction, because you don't want your doorknob going both directions. All right, so now we put this on the outside. There's a little red notch. You move to the left, that makes sure this is square and level. Square with the hole there. And now we're going to go and we're going to put this together. You're going to want to mount the cable here for all the electronics over the top of this, and then the square piece should go pretty much right through. And there we go. All right. And then on the inside, we're going to take the plate part of the interior unit. There are 3 machine screw holes here for this. You're going to mount the rubber side against the door, run this cable through there, get that through the center of the hole, and then put your 3 screws in. All right, so now this is holding on without me doing anything. There's no tape other than for the latch here. It's a little unlevel, so I'm going to mess with it a little bit, and then we'll put the back assembly on. Okay, so now we got the front assembly on the outside. We need to take the rear assembly here, and the same thing as before. We want to make sure that this is turning the right way. So on this one, we're going to be having this turn in. And so you'll actually see you'll have one screw hole that will open up here and one that will be closed when you turn this. So you just take the other screw that was like the last one. It's only half threaded and it has a blue mark on the top. And you put that in the hole here, tighten that in. And now I've got it'll open one way, but not the other. You connect the cables here. There's red markings on the top of this, so you want the red markings on the top on this piece to align with the cable. And then you take the battery cover off. And there's going to be 3 screw holes, 1, 2, 3, where you're going to go and mount this. And this is the tricky part because you've got some excess cable here. You've got to line up this overall, but it's pretty straightforward. All right, so now this is mounted both sides, and so now the real moment of truth. Take off my tape, and that works. doesn't work out here because electronically this needs to open it. So that's kind of interesting. Just as one last check to make sure everything is working correctly. In here, this is working fine. Out here, that does not turn. So we want to make sure everything's working correctly before we finalize this. So we're going to use this manual key they provided and turn. And now the lock will open. Turn it back. And now it's locked again. So now we will add the batteries and then start working on our app install. Okay, got the batteries in, we've tested, it's working, and so we need to start adding a device. And we're going to add a smart lock, and this is the smart lever lock. And we need to scan the QR code. And we'll say that I have finished the installation. Yes, I've watched the whole video. Long press the setup button right there until you hear a beep, and then confirm. The keypad will start blinking. Okay, I've heard the beep. Okay, so the process for enrolling a fingerprint is pretty easy. You just go into the app here, and we're going to go ahead and add a new fingerprint, and you start your enrollment. Wait for the lock to get ready, and you hear beep, and it starts to blink the number 1. You got to get about 8 of these. Well, and sometimes it doesn't like it. 2, nope, didn't like that one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and now that's registered. Now the door is still locked. You can see that everything is locked here, but now go ahead and we can get in. All right, so the lock is on and it is working really, really well. That door, prior to me putting this on, you always had to kind of shove and jam a little bit, so maybe the other lock just wasn't as good, but this is solid. The door actually closes better on that overall. And the locking mechanism itself is very, very solid. I really like how it's implemented overall. And then you've got all those features in there that you have in the Eufy application. You have an auto lock capability, so it can kind of automatically lock the door after you've left, or a few minutes or something like that. You can have that certain times of days. You got the wrong try protection, so that if somebody tries a passcode a few too many times, it can go ahead and the whole lock can lock itself out. It has this interesting privacy mode where there's a switch on the back, and if you flick that switch, the only thing that can then open the lock from the outside is the physical key. And then it's got the option for scrambling a passcode. So if you have somebody and you're worried about somebody looking over your shoulder, you can hit a bunch of strange numbers first, then your PIN code in the middle, and a bunch more, and it will unlock, and all sorts of notifications and things like that. So it's really, really solidly done. I think I'm going to like it. Solidly built. Installation was very easy. All total, that took me about 20-25 minutes to get the old lock off and get the new lock on there. So I think it's a solid choice if it will meet your needs there. So I've been Doug at High Tech Life. Again, go ahead, like and subscribe if you want to see more of these, and we'll see you next time. I did it. I did exactly what I was not supposed to do.